welcome back to my channel, Vamps. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Erica. I go by It's Just Erica G on everything. And as you can see, I'm not a commentary channel. I usually do lifestyle vlogs. I live in Barbados.
You are in Barbados.
I'm from Barbados. So if I'm speaking a bit fast or you can't understand what I'm saying, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm gonna try to talk slowly, but at the same time, it's like I'm talking about like stuff that I love. So I'm just gonna treat you guys like my friends, like my besties. So today, we're here to talk about the Ultimatum Queer Love. As you guys know, the Ultimatum had another season last year. I believe it came out last year, and it was on Netflix. It was with like hetero couples. Basically, the premise of the show is somebody issues an ultimatum to their partner, and then they have to decide if they're gonna marry their partner or if they're gonna leave single, or the messy part is if they're gonna leave with the person that they were on the show with, that they just met on the show. So the last season, they had a lot of drama, a lot of mess, but then at the end of that season, they announced Queer Love was gonna be coming. So I was just like, I cannot wait to see the shenanigans. As y'all know, it just came out, so we're gonna get into reviewing it. So first off, we have 5 couples, and they are Vanessa and Xander, Mal and Yoli, Ozzy and Sam, Tiff and Mildred, very interesting name, Lexi and Ray. So we have 5 couples, and basically one person from the couple issued the ultimatum. From Xander and Vanessa, Xander was the one that issued the ultimatum. From Yoli and Mal, Yoli was the one that issued the ultimatum. From Sam and Ozzy, it was Sam that issued the ultimatum. From Lexi and Ray, it was Lexi that issued the ultimatum, and from Mildred and Tiff, it was Mildred that issued the ultimatum. So in the beginning of the first episode, that's when we get to meet the couples, we get to hear how they meet. With Xander and Vanessa, they actually were dating guys who were best friends, and then they ended up dating each other. I thought that was so cute. I was like, oh, they're probably soulmates, they were meant to be. No. Anyways, Mal and Yoli, they met at Pride one year. Sam and Ozzy, I don't think they really got into how they met. They just described what happened when they first got together. They said it was like butterflies and like the world stopped. Mildred and Tiff, they actually met on Instagram. Tiff found Mildred through a hashtag on Instagram called Lesbian Latina, something like that. And then she just started DMing Mildred, and it went from there. And then Lexi and Ray, I'm not sure how they met. I might have to go back and check and see how they met. I don't remember they really saying. All I remember Ray saying is that she found Lexi attractive, and she was like, yeah, that's my type. I just want to say, when all the couples were coming out, I was like, okay, everybody looks really well paired. I think everybody looks good together. And I have to admit, when I saw Mal, I was like, she is definitely my type. She is my type. I was just like, Yoli, girl, why did you put her on this show for all these other people to see her? I was like, okay, yeah, I definitely think Mal is attractive. I think she's like really good looking and stuff. And it was nice to see all the couples just like lined up, getting to meet each other. So then we meet the host, Joanna Garcia Swisher. Sorry, I have a list. That was very difficult for me to say. But we don't have Nick and Vanessa Lachey for this season. I thought that was interesting, especially because Joanna is not queer as well. I didn't really think too much of it. I was like, okay, fine. But I just thought maybe they would have gotten like a queer host, just because this is the first one of this type of show. You know, you want more representation and stuff, but it's fine. I actually like Joanna Garcia Swisher. I've seen her in Sweet Magnolias. So I was like, let me see what you're doing as a host, girl. So a lot of the time with couples, when one person wants to get married and then the other person doesn't want to get married, it's usually a thing of like commitment. So the one person is like, yeah, I can see myself with this one person for the rest of my life. I'm ready to have a family. I'm ready to settle down. And then the other person is more like scared and hesitant of like committing fully to one person for the rest of their lives. And I know in the queer community there are a lot of stereotypes and stuff, but it was still interesting to see like a diverse group of lesbians, and then they're just talking about like what struggles they face on a day-to-day as a couple. Because with Mal, she said that she wants to marry Yoli. She's made this very clear. I don't know why everybody's making it seem like Mal doesn't want to get married, but Mal said she wants to get married to Yoli. She just wants to make sure that she has certain things in place before they get married. So she wants to have a house. She wants to have money for college for the children, because they want to have children. She said she wants to have children as well. So I'm like, okay, Mal is not afraid of that commitment, but I do think that she probably has a history of probably like, you know, not having that stability and financial security, and she doesn't want that to repeat with her children. And I can understand that. I know Yoli is probably like, what's taking you so long? Because they've been together for 3 years. So I can understand why Yoli now would be like, but I know you love me and I know you commit to me, so why can't we just go that final step? And right off the bat, Vanessa's the one that's with Xander. Vanessa just comes out the gate like swinging. She is like really bubbly. She's just happy to be here. She's just ready to have a good time. I was like, okay, she's extroverted for sure. Xander seems a little more reserved as well. She seems more introverted. So as they're all like talking and getting to know each other, it's time now to spend their last night together, and Vanessa out of nowhere is just like, oh hey Mal, I'm looking forward to you being my trial wife.
Cheers to our trial marriage.
And she does this right next to Xander, and let me tell you, instinct looks could kill. the way how you only looked at that moment, I thought she was gonna cut her that same minute. Mal, she was like, oh you're cute, you know, because I know Mal probably was a little uncomfortable. She seemed like, okay, let me not do the wrong thing in front of my partner because I don't want to look like that. So Mal was just like, oh you're cute, like, but I think she noticed the type of personality Vanessa has, and I don't think that probably sat well with her. But Yoli was not having it. Yoli looked at that girl like, you better fix yourself and come crack. But she didn't say anything. I just thought that was so funny, and I was like, yeah, Vanessa's the one to watch. So after everybody meets everyone, they go off to spend a night with their partner that they came with. And you know, I've been single for quite some time now. I'm just gonna put that out there. And it's good. I enjoy being single and stuff, but seeing these couples, you know, like spend their last night and they're all like kissing, and you know, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. And it reminded me how single I was. But anyways, so it's the next day now, and that's where everybody just kind of does like a round of dating. And the difference between this ultimatum and the last ultimatum is that everybody can date anybody. So it's free game out here. You have like femme for femme, you have mass for mass. So that's when like Mal and Tiff, it's time for them to date each other, time to get to know each other. I could tell their body language was just like, this isn't really my thing, but I'm gonna be open. So they talk to each other. They're like, yeah, I don't tend to go for girls that look like you or people that look like you. And they're like, I'll be open to it. But I know they were just like trying to go with the process and not really be like rude to each other. But I know for sure that they probably weren't really feeling each other like that. And that's fine. So that encounter was hilarious. Tiff also said during this time that she didn't want children. And I thought that was interesting because Mildred actually is a mother. And I just wondered, like, how does that dynamic work in terms of Mildred already coming into the relationship with having a child and Tiff not really being somebody that wants children? Is she good with children? I mean, they've been together for about 3 years, I believe. So if they've been together that long, maybe Tiff doesn't want children of her own, but she can still be good with children and, you know, be nurturing and stuff like that. Vanessa, now it's time for Vanessa to go on dates with everybody. And Vanessa, like I said, is very extroverted. She's like one of those people that just lights up the room. And Lexi says that about her because Lexi's like, you know what? This process is a little awkward for me because Lexi issued the ultimatum to her partner. So I think Lexi was just like, I don't really care about any of these other people here. I just come to make sure that my partner knows that I am a catch and that she is not going to do any better than this. Why am I doing that? Considering the way that Lexi looks. I'm so sorry, guys. Lexi and Vanessa talk, and it seems like they're actually hitting it off because Lexi's like, you know what? I love your energy, and you really like brought some light to this whole encounter, and I'm liking this. So immediately I'm like, okay, Lexi and Vanessa, interesting. So then Vanessa moves on to somebody else. She goes now and she meets Ray. Ray is Lexi's ex-partner. At this time, everybody's exes. After the last night with your partner you came there originally with, you have to break up and they're your ex. So Vanessa goes and talks to Lexi's ex, Ray. I don't know if I have a lot to say about Ray because she's that really quiet, shy, timid girl. I can't tell if she's that girl that is like very shy because she has to get comfortable first, or if she just doesn't have a personality. I didn't want to gauge her too harshly because obviously I don't know these people personally. Maybe it could have just been that she's on camera and she's not comfortable being filmed as yet, and maybe she'll warm up to it as like filming goes on. But I wasn't getting much from Ray. Like, I couldn't gauge like what she likes. All I know is that she likes boobs, because she said that's the reason she liked Lexi. But other than that, it was like, girl, like, do you have anything going on? Like, what are your interests? What are your hobbies? Like, give us something. Like, so for Yoli and Xander, the two of them actually get to date as well. And it's interesting seeing two people who issued an ultimatum actually interact, because then you know that these two people are already dead set on their partner, so they're not really looking to explore. They're not really gonna open up to the process the way that somebody that's not here to like be married at the end of it is gonna open up. So Yoli and Xander gets talking, and they're just like, yeah, I was the one that issued the ultimatum. My partner is a bit hesitant to get married to me, and I don't know how that makes me feel right now because I would rather not be here, stuff like that. Another date that I found stood out for me was Ozzy and Mildred. I was like, this is an interesting pairing. Let's see what happens here, because I got like the impression that some people were like romantically attracted to others, some people found some people interesting, and then others were just like, okay, I'm stuck with you by default, so I'm just gonna be as cordial as possible. But there wasn't really much that I was gonna give to you in this process because I wasn't really interested in you in that way, and that's okay. Like, you're not gonna be attracted to every person you meet, so I didn't really expect that each couple was gonna be really well paired, everybody was just gonna have great chemistry, great energy together. I didn't expect that. First round of dates end, and as we go off, we see some people getting a bit closer to others. So in this case, it was Vanessa with Lexi and Ray, and then she kind of had something going with Mal, but I think that was only one instance, so they didn't really get to build on that much. There was Mal and Lexi for sure, they seemed pretty solid. There was Mildred and Ozzy. Then there was Yoli and Xander. They seemed like they were stuck in this situation together, so they were like, you know what, I'm just gonna write this out with you, and we're gonna see how we come out on the other side of this. So they all meet for like a group meeting where they get to know each other a little more and just like free up a bit. So that's when you see the shots are taken, the drinks are drinking, and that's when people's lips get loose. So Vanessa, Queen Chaos, is like, tell me who's your first pick. Everybody's just like, no girl, I'm not gonna do that, because obviously you don't want to stir the pot as yet. They're still knowing, getting to know each other, so they're not gonna be messy right out. But Vanessa is here for a good time and not a long time. That's what I got from her. And Yoli kind of like shades her, because Yoli basically said, I would date everybody else except you, Vanessa. Vanessa and Lexi, they go off to talk, and Vanessa's basically saying like, honestly, you're not like my typical type. Like, you're wearing jewelry, you're like really done up, you wear like makeup, your hairstyle and stuff. You're not my typical type, but I think you're very pretty and I'm very attracted to you. And Lexi's just like, oh, thank you. Like, of course you would be, like, you know, trying to be like quietly confident. And Vanessa's just like, I'm really looking forward to see where this goes. No. Vanessa and Lexi rejoin the group, and Ray comes out and is like, oh, I talked to you, Vanessa. So they go off to the side. Tell me why Vanessa telling Ray the same thing that she told Lexi. I'm just like, look at her, like, no shame at all. She's just like, oh, you're not my typical type, but I do find you very pretty and stuff. And I was just like, not you running game on. He told them, and bear in mind, Lexi and Ray were together. So it's just like, this love triangle is going to end very badly, and Vanessa's gonna be right in the middle of it. So after everybody gets to talk to each other again, they basically say, well, I'll have a date with you tomorrow. And that's when they do one-on-one dates where they can actually go other places. So we see Vanessa and Lexi, they have their date kind of out by like a pier in a sense. So they're just talking, getting to know each other, talking about what they want in life. Lexi said she's like a very goal-oriented person. She always like plans out stuff. She's always like that person that has to be doing and like planning and setting things up for their partner, and then she doesn't always want to be that person. Like, she wants to have somebody that she can depend on, and I identify with that 100%. Vanessa, on the other hand, is like, you know what? I don't think I want commitment. I don't think that I want to be tied down by anybody. I want my freedom. I want to be able to explore. I want to meet new people. And Vanessa is giving me very poly vibes. Like, I don't know what she's doing there. Like, this is for people who want to be in monogamous relationships. Why are you here, sis? I feel so bad for Xander, because Xander, I think, probably met Vanessa and thought Vanessa was their entire world, and she was gonna be there through thick and thin, and they were just gonna ride everything out together. But Vanessa has other plans. Vanessa is about to see what is in store for her with everybody else. So Vanessa is basically laying it all on the table, and I think Lexi is just like computing all that she's saying. She's just like, okay, I'm filing this away for later, because if I have to refer to something, I'm gonna need to remember this. So they have their date. Ray and Vanessa have their date. Yeah, you know, very run-of-the-mill. Mal and Yoli have a date as well. And you can see them kind of like trying to open up to each other now that they're like, you know what? Our partners are gonna take advantage of this experience. Let's do that as well. Let's see if maybe this is what we really want. So they start talking about like what they want out of life. Yoli is like, she wants to be married, she wants to have a family, she wants everything. But Mal isn't really there yet, and she's wondering, why is it taking Mal so long to decide that she's ready for that? Xander, on the other hand, is like, well, Vanessa is just such a sweet person to me. I love her. She's so beautiful and all this, singing her praises. And Vanessa is out here running wild in the street. I feel so sorry for Xander, because Xander seems like such a nice, like, lovable person, and they have no clue who their partner is. So then for the dates, Ozzy and Mildred, they actually start like doing pretty well, like hitting it off. And at some point, Ozzy's like, you know what? I realized that after a little while, I actually want to get married. And Mildred thinks that this is a really huge breakthrough. Mildred is like, I can't believe that your opinion has changed on marriage, and that you really want to do this, and you're communicating more, and I see so much growth. And then she also says that she feels like her relationship with Ozzy is like a mentor. And I thought that was rather interesting, because I think Ozzy is the oldest one of the group, but they also seem a little bit unsure of themselves in terms of like standing in their truth and like being confident in their decisions and stuff like that. And I just thought that it was interesting that after like 2 days, Ozzy's like, yeah, I want to get married. So now it's time for the choices. This is where all the couples come back and they have to decide who they want to spend their trial wife period with. So it's going to be for 3 weeks, and they have to decide who's going to be their trial wife. So after Vanessa realizes that Yoli and Xander have made a connection, she starts like being really nasty to Xander, and she's like, I can't believe that you told me you love me and you want to marry me, but yet still you're connecting with somebody here. And it's like, girl, you was all about the town with everybody. And Xander had the nerve to feel bad. Do not feel bad, because she did not feel bad when she was hightailing it all over the place. Don't let her manipulate you. All the crocodile tears that Vanessa crying. Like, she was just doing too much. So they get to picking. And Mal picks Lexi. Lexi agrees, and they go off together. Ozzy picks Mildred. Mildred agrees, and they go off together. It comes time for Tiffany to pick. And Tiffany, all out of the blue, is like, I can't do this. She stands up all dramatically. I can't do this. I've just realized that Mildred is the one for me. I really don't want to go through life without her. And then like Mildred gets up and storms off and was like, oh, I can't do this right now. Let me tell y'all, women can be dramatic sometimes, and this was so dramatic. Mildred goes off, and then Tiffany is following behind her, and Mildred is like, no, I can't talk to you right now. I need some time. I just like, yo, please, get it together. Mildred talks to Tiff, and she's like, you know what, we always do this. We break up and then we get back together. We don't actually talk about anything. And after talking to Ozzy, I realized like we have a lot of issues we need to work on. And Tiff is like, I'm willing to work. Ugh. Anyways, production must come and tell them, look, wrap this up, go and sit down and pick your next partner. Sorry, the Bajan let me coming home. So they end up coming back to the table. Tiff picks Sam, who was Ozzy's partner. I could tell that Tiff wasn't really feeling Sam all that much. I kind of got the impression that Sam wasn't really interested in her either. It was just like, yeah, we're just what's left over. We have to couple up. So then it comes to Xander and Yoli. Of course, they choose each other without hesitation. I feel like they probably have like one of the most solid like connections, funny enough, after Vanessa basically trying to go after Yoli's partner. But then it's time for Vanessa to choose. This is where we see a bit of like chaos and drama, because everybody knows now that Vanessa is there for the wrong reasons. And Lexi got so upset. She was like, why are you here then? Some of us really want to get married. Some of us want commitment. In fact, most of us here want commitment, want to have marriage, and you're just like not looking to be a part of the process. And I didn't think Vanessa thought that she was gonna call her out, because Vanessa looked so shook. She was just like, oh, my secret's out. And Lexi basically wanted to warn Ray about Vanessa, and she was like, you know, I don't think she's a good person. She's not here for the right reasons. And Ray is kind of like, stop trying to micromanage me. I'll make my own choices. So in the end, when it came down to the choice, Ray actually chooses Vanessa, and Vanessa chooses Ray. And Ray is like, oh, I think Vanessa would make a great wife. Oh no, she would not. That woman does not want to be a wife. She does not want to have a ring on her finger. She does not want to have to be tied down to anybody. She described being with Xander as jail. Those 4 years, she was struggling to stay with Xander. She does not want to be married. So anyways, the couples by the end of the night with their trial wives are Mal and Lexi, Yoli and Xander, Sam and Tiff, Mildred and Ozzy, and Vanessa and Ray. Those are our new 5 couples, and they go off now to spend 3 weeks together as wives. This is where things start to get messy. Right off the bat, Tiff and Sam, they start living together, and Sam is just like, you know, I love animals. I'm an animal person. I don't have any pets right now, but I do love animals. And Tiff is like, well, my dog is my whole world. So whoever I'm with has to love my dog, and my dog sleeps on my bed. And I'm like, I love animals as well, but I draw the line at them sleeping in my bed. I don't think I would be comfortable with that, and I would have to say that to my partner up front. Sam is not really keen on having the dog in the bed. So Tiff sleeps on the couch that night with the dog. So the next morning she's like, I didn't really appreciate that I had to sleep on the couch with my dog. And Sam is like, well, you didn't really have to do that, but I'm still getting to know your dog. I'm still getting comfortable with living with you, so let's just take it slow. And then Tiff blows it all up. She's like, if you don't care about my dog, then we can't be together. I have to be with somebody that cares about my dog. And I'm just like, girl, she didn't say she did not care about the dog. She just said she did not want your dog on her bed. And that's okay. She made her seem like she was killing the dog or something. They managed to talk it out, and then we get to see some of the other couples. So Ray and Vanessa, you know, they're just like getting ready for bed, and I could tell that Vanessa was like trying to like push for more, but Ray wasn't really interested. I don't know, maybe Ray was just uncomfortable with the cameras, like I said, because she just seemed so uncomfortable throughout the whole filming. I don't know if it is Vanessa that's making her uncomfortable or just the cameras or what's not. But they end up just having like, you know, a nice little sleepover. They didn't do anything. Lexi and Mal, they talk about like ground rules, where who's gonna put whose things. They talk about like, do you sleep naked or do you sleep with clothes, stuff like that, regular couple stuff. So they get to bed, and Yoli and Xander, they do the same thing. They're like, what are you comfortable with? Are you fine with me like sleeping in pajamas, nude, all that stuff? And Xander, funny enough, was like, oh, I sleep naked. And I was like, not you, you little angel. As time goes on, Xander and Yoli, you can tell they're getting a lot closer. They're like bonding. They're talking about what they want for the future. And I think Yoli's starting to waver a bit. I think she's like, maybe I could see a life with Xander, and I'm not as set on Mal as I thought. Mal, on the other hand, is having the time of her life with Lexi. She's just like, you know what? Maybe I could get married. Maybe you could be my fiance by the time I leave her. And I'm just like, woo, woo. Everybody's having a good time. And then Mildred and Ozzy go to meet Ozzy's friend, Mo. Ozzy's with her friend, and you know, she's comfortable. So her friend is like, do you even know what marriage is? Like, are you prepared to be married? And that's when Ozzy's like, you know what? I don't know if I want to be stuck with one person for the rest of my life. And that hits Mildred very, very hard. Because remember, Ozzy was saying, I want to be married, after just talking for like 2-3 days. Now it's like you don't want to be stuck with somebody. It makes it seem like you're gonna be chained together for life, and you don't want that. So I think that was kind of what started the cracks in their relationship, because from then on they just started like having little tips. Well, Mildred said that Ozzy was not helping with chores, that she was not really giving everything she said she would give, which is like cooking for Mildred and stuff. And Ozzy basically was like, well, I've been eating out with my friends, so I didn't have a need to cook. I felt like that came off a bit selfish, because you're not by yourself anymore. You guys are together. It would help out a bit if you could do meals and stuff. So I think Mildred was really looking for that help from Ozzy, because they did talk about it in the beginning stages. Like, Ozzy said she would cook and stuff like that, and now Mildred was not getting any of that, and Mildred felt like bamboozled, basically. So a few days pass and everybody's pretty much settled into who they're with. And that's when you start seeing a lot more like PDA, and people are getting a lot more comfortable, like display affection. So I noticed that like Yoli and Xander, like they were testing the waters a bit. And Xander's a little freak, you know, because at one point she was like, oh, I like to like warm up and like ease into things. So she was flirting with Yoli, and then you see them at the table like getting close, and I was squealing. I was like, ah. So then later on they start, you know, like warming up to each other, and they're basically like, I can tell where this is going, let's just do the do. So they do the do. That's one couple that does the do. And then there is Vanessa and Ray. And Vanessa and Ray are very interesting to me, because Vanessa from day one seemed like she was ready to do the do with whoever would do the do with her. But Ray seemed a little more reserved and a little more hesitant. But in the end, they got to that point and we see them doing the do. So before the girls went out, Mildred and Ozzy actually got into it, and I'm actually starting to realize that they're not compatible. Because Mildred is like that, like confrontational type. She's very fiery. She's the type that's going to like call you out. And Ozzy's gonna run away. Ozzy's gonna like go into her shell and not be able to confront issues. And as they were getting ready for the event, they're just talking, you know. Mildred is like, do you need the bathroom? Ozzy's like, no, not yet. And I know Mildred is probably asking her that multiple times, because it's like, I need to know how much time I have so that I don't inconvenience you. And Ozzy's just like, okay, maybe like 15 minutes. And as they're just like talking, it starts to devolve into like another issue, because Mildred is like, you know what, I actually noticed that you're not stepping up and doing the things that you said you would do before. And Ozzy's like, you know what, you actually call me out a lot on camera. You always do this to me. You make me seem like the bad guy, and I don't like that. And I was like, ooh, okay, Ozzy, you know, show her that you're not gonna stand down every time that there's conflict. And Mildred is like, when have I ever done that to you? When have I ever called you out on camera? I've only ever been nice and kind to you, and I feel like I'm not getting that back. And Ozzy's like, every time you have an issue with me, you say something when we're not on camera. And I'm just like, please, let us know. Let us know if things have been going on behind the scenes that we're not seeing. Please, Netflix, include that footage. Let's see what is going on with Mildred and Ozzy, because I really do feel like they're not compatible. And I think Mildred was so dead set on finding somebody that was different to Tiff that she did not realize that she and Ozzy do not really work. Fast forward now, everybody's getting ready to meet each other. They're two separate groups, they're all out, and they're having drinks. And you know, when people have drinks, like I said, the lips get loose. So they're all talking about like how it's been going with their trial wives. And in this group, Xander and Mal are together. Obviously, Mal was with Yoli, and now Xander is with Yoli. So Mal is like, so how are things with Yoli? Like, do you not have anything to say about like your new trial wife? And Xander's like, no, she's perfect, like she's good, apart from like the dog leaving things around the house, like there's nothing. And Mal is like, you don't have anything to say about Yoli and that attitude. And Xander stuck to their guns. Xander was like, you're not gonna get me to be talking about my trial wife up in here, making her look bad. So then everybody on the other side of the other groups, this is the group with like Tiff, Vanessa, Yoli, they're talking as well. And that's when Vanessa is confronted by Lexi about her doing the do with Ray. And Ray had previously called Lexi and said, well, hey, we got physical and I just wanted to let you know that. And that sent Lexi into a spiral. She was crying. She was on the floor, bawling her eyes out. Val is there like, I can't believe that like Vanessa's messing this up for everybody. I just want to pause for a second because y'all came on this show knowing what this show is about, right? Why is everybody acting like they don't know what's supposed to be happening here? If you have a partner and you're two consenting adults, obviously things are going to get physical at some point, especially if you're attracted to the person. So I was not surprised that anything happened, but everybody was clutching their pearls like, how could she do that? I think maybe some people were like, oh, maybe Ray shouldn't have said anything, which is true. She probably didn't have to say anything. But to act like they were so surprised she did something was like, let's be real, guys. Let's be real. Y'all are drinking. Y'all are sleeping together in the same bed. Like, something was bound to happen. So anyways, they're calling out Vanessa and they're like, why would you do that with her? Did you even care about her? And Lexi's like, I don't know if you even care about her. Do you even like her romantically and stuff? And I noticed Vanessa starts tripping up on her words and she's like, well, no, I don't know. And then basically she says, no, she's not attracted to Ray romantically and stuff. So Lexi is just like, so what are you doing with her? Did you just like happen to sleep with her for sleeping with her sake? And Vanessa doesn't know what to say. Then Yoli starts getting on Vanessa's case and she's like, do you even know what you have with Xander? Like, do you know how good of a person Xander is? And Vanessa is like, yeah, I do know. And Yoli's like, no, I don't think you know, because you don't treat her like if you know what she has and what value she brings. So then Yoli asks her, what do you bring to the table, Vanessa? And Vanessa's mute. Vanessa don't know what to say. Honestly, like she admitted, I've never had to bring anything to the table because people have always just loved me for me. And I think because of her personality, that can be true. She's a ray of sunshine. She's so bubbly. She's so personable. She doesn't really have to do anything because she gets things easy throughout life. So I wasn't surprised when she said that she's never really brought anything to the table. So after that night out, Mal and Lexi are pretty solid. Like, they seem like a decent dynamic. I think they're very compatible. Tiff and Sam, they actually work through some of their issues. They're able to communicate. And Sam says this at the night out. She's like, you know what? Me and Tiff, we're actually like working on our communication and I think that's really good. And she says this to Mildred. And Mildred kind of has like a bit of jealousy because she didn't have that with Tiff. So to hear that like Tiff was more like calm and able to talk about her feelings was interesting for her. But I think Mildred actually said something very important as well and very true when she said that Ozzy is not confrontational and at her age she really needs to be able to talk about her feelings and to address things. But after the girls' night out, that's basically where we're left with. Everybody is still like kind of on a high because that's when some of the couples find out like people have been sleeping together. Some people's new trial wife relationships are getting deeper and deeper and there's tension brewing. So I'm really looking forward to see how these next couple episodes go and then how it translates when they get back with their older partners. So if you really enjoyed today's commentary, come back next week. They're gonna release the next set of episodes on Wednesday and of course I'm gonna be doing my commentary on that. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe, guys, if you want to see me do more commentary videos.
BRIDGETOWN, I'm from BRIDGETOWN.